and welcome to another episode of Straight from the Fund Manager. Joining us today is Anju Chhajer, Senior Fund Manager of Nippon India Mutual Fund. Hi Anju, thanks a ton for joining us today. Anju, to begin with, how have you positioned the Nippon India Low Duration Fund in the current economic setup?
Hi, Samina. To start with, I would just like to highlight low duration fund as per SEBI regulations can run a duration of maximum 1 year, and it has to run a minimum duration of 6 months. We also run the fund in that categorization, considering the fact that it is in the 6 months to 1 year bucket, and we are in a scenario where markets are expecting rates to ease from here on. But when will that timing of the rate cut cycle is not known. But overall, the general view in the market is that rates will ease from here, and gradually the liquidity also should improve from here in Indian context. So overall, internationally and in India, considering that we are running currently on the higher end of the bucket, 0.95 to 1 year duration, Macaulay duration. So it is more aggressively positioned as on date.
Right. Anju, what is the profile of the underlying instrument that the fund invests in?
The fund can invest in all kinds of debt instruments. It can invest from T-bills to GSEC to SDLs. It can invest from CPCDs to NCDs to PTCs, all kind of debt instruments available in the market. Fund is allowed to invest, and we do invest in all kind of instruments. Depending on the we maintain a good balance between liquid assets and illiquid assets, and ensure the good liquidity is maintained, because the overall time horizon of an investor in this fund is around 3 to 6 months period. Considering that, we maintain good liquidity in the fund and invest in all kinds of fund and maintain a balance on all the assets that we invest.
Anju, what is fund casing and the liquidity risk that you evaluate? Can you throw some light on this?
As per the fund casing, the internal risk management tool that we use, the fund is supposed to cannot invest less than 70% of the portfolio in AAA or sovereign component. So you can invest in below AAA rated instrument, maximum 30% of your portfolio. That is the constraint that we have internally put in place. From liquidity perspective, we maintain 10 to 15% of the portfolio in sovereign component. And as the 70% of the portfolio is anyways AAA, which is most of the AAA instruments are liquid. The liquidity in this portfolio is very good. It can be all assets are very easily liquidatable. 15 to 20% of the portfolio, one would say, we maintain illiquid assets, which are relatively illiquid, not that illiquid, but they're relatively illiquid portfolio assets, which balances the portfolio to give a higher carry, to run a higher carry.
Anju, what is the recommended time period one should stay invested in this fund for optimal returns?
Anything between 3 months to 6 months is an optimum period. We recommend this product is recommended because it runs a 1 year duration maximum, 6 months to 1 year duration. This product is ideal for anything between 3 to 6 months, but one can remain invested for longer also, depending on your risk profile. So you can remain invested for 1 year, 2 year also, if your risk profile is lower and you don't want to take a higher interest rate risk.
And very lastly, Anju, what category of investors is this fund most suited for?
It is suited for all kinds of investors. It is the time horizon of investment which we have to look at. Corporates invest in these funds. HNIs invest. Retail investor can look to invest. A salaried person can look to deploy his emergency fund here. If you are doing STPs, then you can deploy make bulk investment in these funds and do your STPs to equity funds from this fund. So this fund is appropriate for all kind of investors. Depending on your investment horizon, that is a period for which you are investing, one can use this fund very effectively for in their asset allocation.
I thank you very much, Anju, for throwing some light on the Nippon India Low Duration Fund. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.